Today we're looking at the 2021 NTL Women's Open Grand Final.
Oh, how about that? It's even better.
Count of the man, count of the hour.
That is sensational.
Okay, Sydney Scorpions and the South Queensland Sharks. Bit of a state of origin feel to this one. Okay, and we have the first try. A bit of an interesting one, this one. Let's have a look. Let's have a look at the lead up. So, I don't understand why. This is a bit of a weird one. So we have the inside ball. This is defender here wants to make the touch on either one of these middles. Okay, that's a given. We have a sweeper coming around here who will essentially be this defender's responsibility to defend. But if we have a look now, that's a bit of a gap between the dummy half and the play the ball. And to give to the sweeper, this player here going to dummy half, she's going to have to pick up the ball and do a full 180 to actually provide the pass. That'll give this defender here, who is actually not in very good position, she should be making that touch sort of in front. It'll give her plenty of time to get back on side. So the sweeper's kind of all weird and backwards. But there's the sweeper there. Okay, and there's a lot of space. Okay, so the defender should be okay here, but the ball carrier here manages to step her on the inside. Okay, and this person will realign and run this hole. Okay, this defender here will have to come in and fill that gap, as they do now. There's the step. The defender has to come in. Now, because of the way that the shape of the sweeper was, this link defender has obviously assumed that everyone's going to be taking their man, or in this case their lady. But because this defender has actually had to come in, the reaction time from this link wasn't as quick. So it leaves that hole quite big. So we got a try off it, but the lead up was very weird. But they thought on their feet and they could get it sort of a platform of what would be a short side quickie. So Sharks hit back next. A nice running play here. Let's have a look. Beautiful pass. Let's go back. We'll play it here. So there is Scorps. A lot of the ways Scorps defend is they feel most comfortable defending their line. So they will intentionally leave all this space and drop themselves back into the 7. Okay, but in this case, they've actually presented themselves a little bit. However, that dump there, that's pretty good. So that's not very good positioning from the Scorps. They could have made that touch up here somewhere and made it so here would be onside. But because they've made the touch on the 7, now they must get to the line. And the Sharks know exactly where they've got to be onside. Okay, so this play, it's probably the most basic play in touch. It's just a 4-on-3 platform. And what I mean by 4-on-3 is this person fades out to be here. Okay, aligning with the link defender. The dummy half now will beat the offside defender. Okay, so the offside defender's job is to go this side because she has less help. She's only got 2 players out here and she has 3 on the other side. So her priority is to go to that short side. And while with that as her priority, the dummy half will step back to the open, thus allowing 4 attackers going against 3 defenders. That was normally the case. This person would hit a hole here, Link would hit a hole here, Winger would hold the width. But the shape that the Sharks use is using that passive link. Okay, so we have the front runner here at the inside shoulder of this defender. Okay, so she's got to come in to make this touch. And you'll notice that the winger is pretty much holding on the line because they want to make a decision at the pass whether they're coming in or out. So Sharks have actually positioned a player almost behind this link, running outwards. Now, running outwards this way. Now, they're off screen, but you'll see what I mean. Because they're tight and deep and running outwards, this link here can't recover because they're pretty much flat-footed, and the distance in the depth is way too far for that winger to come in and make a shutdown touch. And there's the depth. And winger just chases out, and it's an easy try there. But it's a really hard pass, but it's well executed with the lines and the angles that the Sharks just ran there. So that was really good. We have the next Scorps try again. Unfortunately, the camera angle's not the best on this one, but we'll see what we can use. Let's see if we have another one here. No, we'll go replay. Okay, so this is again, the run here is also from a 4-on-3 platform. Okay, so this person here is pulling that corner. That is the middle, that's a link, and there's a winger out there. So this is a middle taking off. Now she's decided to go through that short side and beat the defender for pace. Okay, so she's just taking off now. This link here is holding out. Okay, she'll only make that touch if she's told. Okay, but look at the positioning of this middle. Okay, she has to basically sprint to get this touch. Okay, and this here is a nice late switch. So she will wait to see this defender's momentum all going this way. Okay, and then she will change the angle back and drop under the ball carrier for a switch play. Okay. Now, look, in theory, it's good if this defender, this number 3 here from the Sharks, can read this. If she was up off the line, she could probably make that touch. But as a backup, this is where we need this defender to be closing that gap. Okay, because again, that was the short side. These players are pulling short side at the touch, and these defenders here, oh, not her, wrong team. These defenders here need to be coming across in cover and helping out. Okay, because that didn't happen, they were allowed to run that little sneaky switch and just got through the gap. So Scorps hit back, and now they're in front. Tit for tat here, Sharks with the ball. Lynx made the touch. Okay, nice. Now I'm guessing in the lead up to this play, they've run what's called a link punish. So the shape of the Scorps right now is they've got a high middle and a high link. Okay, they know that they've just been scored on by a big right to left pass. Okay, which needs to be dumped on this middle to get that pass. Okay, so Scorps are like, nope, you're not going to be able to dump this middle. If you want to try that, you're going to get our link, or you're going to get the wrong middle. Okay, so it's a nice adjustment from the Scorps. Okay, but what the Sharks do to counter this, they go, all right, we're going to go on your link. Okay, I'm going to get out here and try to burn this link for pace. I'm going to just try and do that. Okay, and because that is now the momentum of the ball, this defender, they're going to basically come across and cover their link. So they're going to be coming this way. Okay, but it's actually a dummy play. So she'll split really hard, and then they angle back. Look where this defender is here. And there's two basically defenders defending the same space, which is probably not good. They just rip the ball now to this number 1 who's running an outline. Okay, because that defender here, it's her responsibility now, because the link made the touch, to be on this player. Okay, because it's basically man on. Because this didn't happen, now this play can be done if they dumped on the middle. The best way to defend this, especially if your middles are stupidly tight right here, this defender here, as soon as you see that ball carrier turn and pass, fly in and make that touch. Okay, you might not get there in time, they might get a pass away, but the chances are that pass that they get over here is going to be pretty bad, or it's not going to hit the next person on the chest, and your winger can then fly in and smash that. Okay, but because the Scorps defense hold, they were hoping, they were probably thinking because the link made the touch that their defender here could recover. But because she was so tight, by the time she got there, I think they called her offside or they played through. But either way, she didn't make the touch in time. So it was a nice little adjustment there from Sharks. Next try here. Very similar. And very similar in the fact that they were called offside as well to play through. It's actually a really good advantage here. Now, because there was a replay showed before this, we don't actually see the full picture. But what I'm guessing happened is this link was up nice and high to make a touch. Okay, but them angled in and tried to jag both middles on the play the ball. And in doing so, when they've angled in, this link was caught sort of offside. So it's middle. Those four are all middles, and they're ripping it to this link out here, whose job is to basically beat this link. Okay, who was caught way offside and way out in basically on an island on her own. So let's see, the ball's lucky not to hit her head. Number 4 is still offside, and the winger actually doesn't make the touch. The winger calls the touch, which is not bad placing by the winger. It probably would have been nice to see another pass instead of a dummy, but the referees ruled the ball down. Okay, so that's what I'm guessing's happened there. They've seen the high link, they've gunned it in at the middles, and they've ripped it to their own link while the defensive link's offside. Here's another one of those out balls. They're really liking their out ball play. This one's actually dumped on the middle. There it is there, on the middle. But this middle shape isn't the best. She probably wants to be next to the referee. She wants to be onside in a good, what we call pre-touch, and being able to move forward off the line at the play the ball. But both middles are caught offside. So that means if you rip the ball to your fellow middle, they can then jink, change their angles at an offside player, which makes it a lot easier for them to be beaten. So let's have a look. Here's the rip. Okay, this middle now has to react. She's just got onside and now has to react. And because her reaction means that all her momentum is going this way, it's a nice easy step back on her inside and score on the inside of her feet. There's the step back. The player is calling the touch, but the referee has said that she wasn't onside. So let's have a look. Does she get both feet on the line? Not really. I think I'm happy to go with the call on that one. But yeah, a nice little out ball to an offside middle. Very good. So it's 3-all here. Half's through. Okay, I wish they didn't use that angle, but I think most of it was good. Let's have a look. Okay, so here's the touch. Middle. Okay, middle making the touch, and here's your other middle. Okay, now very similar to a middle dumping it for your link and link taking off. This is just a middle 4-on-3. Okay, so this middle will realign this way, and it's very important that they split open side. Okay, if they split short side and the dummy half tries to take off this way, they run into the onside player. So that's a big no. It's very important to split the right way when you're doing middle. And the reason, the best way that I find is you're taking up the space here of your other middle. Okay, you're not taking up the space of where a link would be. You take up the space, so you basically cross, you take up the space of where that middle should be and let them run towards the offside player. Okay, because then they can beat him here, they can beat him here, they can do whatever they want. The player making the touch, it was their job to pull corner that way, and these people just man up because there's more help out here than there is on the short side. But look at their position. Okay, they're just backpedaling. Very easy to be beaten. Okay, so body shape needed to be right hand forward, chest facing sort of the camera sideline. Okay, and there's the step. I'll just go back a little bit. Now this middle's job here is to allow nothing through the middle. So they're actually in the in goal, so they'd probably be a meter forward, holding, and as the dummy half just gets in line with them, probably just gets to the line, they then reach and touch them on the shoulder. But this case, I think she actually does try to do that. There's the reach, you can see her reaching there, that's her arm, but she just misses. So her technique is probably just a little wide. And then The number 7 gets through from dummy half, and it's just find some open grass and just be there to score the try. So a nice little middle play there from the Scorps to put them in front. Sharks now hit back. This is excellent. This is really excellent from the dummy half. There's a lot to talk about here and just a basic middle. So again, middle play. So it's a middle making the touch. These are 2 middles. She split back to the open side to realign. Okay, she's dummied actually to give the pass, which is sort of a reverse quickie or an open side quickie we call it. It's not as common. It's still a thing. But she's dummied in hope that this girl here will then turn her body and try to cover the space. Okay, so there's the dummy. She just made her sort of pivot there, but she's also made the other middle go this way. So now the job here is separate these 2 middles and get a gap for her to run in. Okay, so she's propped both the middles. That's great, all looking good so far. Look at the middles, they're basically back to back from each other. This space is now widened. Okay, so now when she steps back on the inside, she's running into a huge space because this middle's still offside. They had to make the line. She's nowhere near the line yet. So we step back. Player has to come in to make the touch. This player should also come in, but they hesitate, and number 4 here just sort of dawdles over the line like that. Great work from the dummy half to open those middles up. Sharks again, only 90 seconds left in the game. Sweeper with a blindside run. Okay, let's talk about this one. This turns out to be the winning try as well. Okay, so we want to send this player around to a sweeper. She'll be sweeping around this side, and we always want to send sweepers running into offside players, which means you want to get this middle here. Okay, because that sweeper is going to take on that middle and beat her in, out, whatever. Okay, which they do. They get that. But as we talk about, that's great positioning from the toucher. Her job is to now go to the short side, where it's, I'm not sure if that's the middle or the link, but whoever it is, it's the other middle's job now to cover the gap, okay, between the 2 middles. Okay, now in doing that, you send all your momentum over towards the toucher because they're pulling short side. So that gap is moving and you've got to move to cover it. So the dummy half actually dummies to the sweeper and then takes off to the open side. And this was the middle here. She was covering this section of grass and her momentum was going this way, and now it has to change to chase this player. Okay, you're on this player, you're on the winger out there. So it's basically man on the short side. We'll continue the play. This is the sweeper. Now as soon as that dummy half took off, she curled around and now she's going to be alive on the inside. This was your toucher. She pulled corner and didn't realise all this had changed until she got onside. So now the gap between there, way too big. So she runs through from dummy half. Now very important here. We don't need you running into the in goal. Okay, because if you, as a player here, run into the in goal, that means your defender runs into the in goal and it's way too close to the ball carrier. So if you hover on the line, okay, it keeps everyone away from the dummy half and you can still score as soon as you get the ball. So there it is, number 66 there just waiting on the line, or just in front of it, and that's the try. So that's what we call a sweeper with a buoy, and a buoy just means, or a sweeper with a curl, or something like that. You might have it different, but a sweeper with a curl is, and there's the curl, sweeper curling around. That's pretty much, people will know what you mean if you call it that. And yeah, Sharks go on to win that game 5-4. An absolute cracking game at NTL's. But yeah, congratulations to the Sharks, and we thank you very much for watching, and I hope to see you on another episode of Game Analysis. Thank you very much.